David doesn't rate anyone.
Okay.
Like, he don't rate anyone. And he was just like, nah, he's good.
So you know you're getting that stamp of approval.
So that
if it's
is a
from...
stamp, that's a real one. Yeah. You see boxing fans, I'll be honest, because I'm one of them as well. But you can't please them. You know?
Oh, no.
You can't please them.
Pound for pound, across the world, who do you think has the best domestic scene?
But I don't want something like this.
Yeah.
Make me... I don't want something like that happening. What's going on with my wording? I can't get this word.
If you've got a first round knockout versus someone that's done a 3-round war, they're going to be knackered for the next fight. So a bit of luck comes your way, but you sort of need that with a one-night tournament.
Mouthpiece, the home of unfiltered boxing. This episode is brought to you by Boxing Boys. Boxing Boys is a 3D animated NFT collection made up of 5,005 unique boxing characters, combining the real world of boxing with the digital revolution through a play-to-earn game. Each boxing boy has its own unique skill set, and upon collection becomes a playable character. Right, Money Mace.
Yes.
We had no event this weekend.
Nothing. The week off for once.
We got a week off for a couple of weeks. It's not exactly a week off, but there's no cards.
We're not on the road as such. It's but got a lot of stuff to discuss. So I guess we'll start top of the bill with the London card. Riakporhe's opponent is out, Fabio Turchi. When you look at the cruiserweight champions, who do you really... You've got Okolie, Bradis, Makabu and Gulamarian. They're all kind of beatable in their own right. I think Okolie's probably the hardest one there.
Okolie is, for me, the hardest one. So I'm expecting Okolie to fight Bradis at some point very soon. Yeah. It just looks like that's happening.
Yeah.
I expect Okolie to beat Bradis. Bradis is good.
Yeah.
But I expect Okolie to be too awkward for him, too long for him maybe, and to beat him. And then I personally expect, we know how boxing works and it can go in any direction, but I expect Riakporhe to get a shot at Mugabe.
Yes, yeah. That's where he's ranked highest as well, isn't it? So I think
he'll get that shot.
Yeah.
Provided Mugabe keeps his, I'm not sure what his plans are, keeps his belt, he'll be mandated, and I think that happens in the next 12 months.
Yeah. I think he's got an opponent.
He had a fight not that long ago.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, he fought recently in it.
So I expect that to be the case, and then I expect, I'm not sure what happened with the he's French, isn't he, the WBA champion? I'm sure he is. But they're all getting on now. They're all like 34.
I don't even know what flag that is. Armenia or something?
Oh, it might be. Yeah, but I think he fights out of France. Yeah, it might be Armenian. I think
yeah. Fights in France.
Yeah. So I expect that to be, someone will go after him. But I expect everyone, all the unification fights to start happening soon. I reckon by the time Riakporhe and Okolie happens, because I think that does happen.
That happens?
I think it happens. I think it happens in between 18 to 24 months.
I would love that to happen, but I wonder if Okolie just moves up beforehand. We see with the last fight, he admitted himself that he struggled getting down to the cruiserweight limit, So I think I know
a unification then move up.
It's just to tick that box. Cool. So unfortunately, I just don't think we see it. I would love to.
But anyway, Riakporhe will probably move up at some point as well. He can't be that much more comfortable at making 90 kg. So
he's got room there because he gets like shredded down at cruiserweight, so he could save himself such an extreme weight cut. And
they both got similar bodies in terms of their tall.
They're massive for the cruiserweight, isn't it?
Big
Massive
cruisers. All right, cool. In which case, I expect Riakporhe to pick up the WBC.
Yeah.
If all being well, and then I expect him
maybe fight for the vacant
WBC.
So he'd win the WBC.
No, WBO
and then Bradis has IBF. Yeah. So if he's sticking with that in terms of this next fight, he'd probably have a highest position for that. Get a unification, maybe doing Okolie, and then maybe chases Okolie and goes up to the heavyweight.
That's it. To be fair, we're saying it like they've had like.
We've just mapped out like a lot of...
And we're saying it like they've had like there's been a war of words between Riakporhe and Okolie.
Oh no! Really it's just a domestic dust up.
But it's one I'd love to see. Yes. To be fair,
100%.
We lost the opponent, but it's still the same objective.
Yeah.
Hopefully the same outcome.
Yeah.
We lost Dion Juma and
Mikel Lawal. Yeah. Mikel was the dreaded C word. I don't know, George, you might have to actually bleep that. I think you actually get. I'm sure on YouTube you can get like flagged and stuff for even saying.
Bleep.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll tell you why that upset me, because that was the fight that I was looking forward to most on the card.
Yes, that would have been a proper 50-50 fight.
50-50 fight.
Yeah.
Obviously, I have invested interest because I like Mikel.
Yeah.
But Dion is also my friend.
Yeah.
I'm sure I annoyed Mikel Lawal's team. But it's just how it goes,
maybe
man.
It's
a friendship. No, maybe I did. You hear me? I apologise. But it's honestly, it's just, if you can't understand it, then you can't. Then you've never had a friend.
Yeah.
That's it. It's simple stuff.
Look, that British fight. We talk about the English title a couple of times, Misael, competitive, and how much fire there is in that. But the British is like the actual proper stamping ground for really asserting yourself.
Yeah.
Replacing that is hopefully Dan Aziz, our latest signing.
So you're announcing it right here, right?
Yeah,
now.
I'm doing it. The
You're
exclusive.
doing it here?
Yeah. Well, this goes out Wednesday. So,
okay, all right, cool.
So
yeah,
we're in the clear. We've signed Dan Aziz now on a long-term deal.
Perfect.
He is obviously the current British champion, but was the first light heavyweight fighter to win the Southern Area, English and British.
Yeah.
So he's
got his
accolades there. He's done it. He's done it the hard way.
Yeah.
When he just dispatched of Hosea Burton. That was meant to be a proper 50-50.
Yeah.
Dan Aziz just made light work of it, innit? He was sick.
He
I was loving
strong.
him in that
he
fight.
Strong, man.
Yeah, but he was talking to him, taunting to him, slipping, just like he was fully focused and taunting him, and it was just cool to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, although we've lost Mikel Lawal versus Dion Juma for a vacant British, we've got the current British light heavyweight title holder in Dan Aziz fighting, making his first boxer signed fight. He's obviously fought with us before, but yeah, he's now signed. Other debutants. Jamie Takivi.
Yeah.
Well, a boxer debutants as such. Chris Kongo and Jamie Takivi.
That's going to be that's good. Especially for a London card. It's great to have them both.
Yeah.
Kongo, everyone knows about Kongo.
Yeah. I don't know too much about Jamie Takivi.
Takivi, from what I've heard, I've never seen him box before. I've never even had a close enough look at him because obviously he come up through the amateur setup. But as soon as I knew we were signing him, I spoke to David Adelaide. I said, and I literally just said to him, Jamie Takivi, talk to me. Like, is he good? And he goes, and listen, I'll be real. David doesn't rate anyone.
Okay.
Like, he don't rate anyone. And he was just like, no, he's good.
So, you're getting that stamp of approval.
So that is a stamp, and that's a real one.
Yeah.
When I say David is just one of them fighters with a bad attitude.
Yeah.
Like, and he's had it from 13, 14 years.
Just gives no one else credit.
Just a bad attitude guy, innit? Like, he's a Labrador boy. But he was just like, he was actually like, no, he's good, man. Like, he's got like a I think he described it as an amateurish style in terms of like bam bam, like he's sharp, he's like very sharp. But he rated him, which was actually a surprise to me because I know he just doesn't rate boxers that highly, a lot of them.
Yes, from what I've seen on social media and on YouTube and stuff, he seems very unorthodox for a heavyweight. He doesn't come forward in a traditional way. As you said, he slips and he moves. I'm actually I've heard good things about him from quite a few people. He was obviously on the Team GB circuit, so he's obviously got the amateur pedigree there. But it'd be interesting to see what he does.
And in Kongo, obviously we've got to get him on.
Yeah,
we've got to get him on. Let's get him on in the next couple of. Let's try and get him on. We will try and get Chris Kongo on before March 26th.
Yeah. Well, Kongo and Takivi are in the same camp, aren't they? They're both at Ben Davis' gym. We should get them both right here.
Let's do it. This side. That's it. It's a done deal. Kongo. Everyone knows about Kongo. You know, like he's had big fights before. He's been on big platforms before.
He arguably got dogged a little bit and got thrown into the was it the McKinson fight?
Yeah.
Sort of when he'd had a long layoff and stuff, and maybe it was too much too soon, going straight back into the sport.
Yeah, but it's probably a good lesson, you know.
It is. Sometimes
a good lesson.
You're going to take more from than losses anyway.
Now he's with Ben Davison.
Yeah.
So like it's interesting to see where he's at, because obviously he'll want to just get back in. He's been out for a while.
Yeah.
Get like that momentum going, and then get back looking at titles. It won't be long before and obviously he's been calling out Florian.
I was just about to say we can actually get a little stable bust up going. He's obviously, I think they've even sparred together a bunch of times, and Kongo and Marku, and they had some dodgy stories about each of them. They both had their own things to say.
It's good. Let that marinate.
Yeah.
Let that marinate. But I think that's a good fight. I think that's a quality fight.
So do I. Takivi and Kongo both in the same camp, but sticking with heavyweights.
Yeah.
Mr. Fraser Clark is back out. He's going to be taking a step up fight. He got a little bit of criticism for his opening fight, but
it's not his.
Look, you got to get the ball rolling on the debut as well. And
hold on, did he get criticism or did we get criticism?
Both really, both.
How could he get criticism? It was a good performance.
Yeah, you've got to just fight the people that are put in front of you.
Do you know what? You see boxing fans, I'll be honest, because I'm one of them as well. But you can't please them. You know?
Oh no.
You can't please them.
Or it's impossible to please 100% of the audience. You're just never ever going to.
As in, a good performance is a good performance. They'll complain that it's only Vasyl Lomachenko and, to be fair, Galal. Galal had a very
Galal's
decent
done it nicely, to be fair, innit?
But as in, everyone else has to start pretty traditionally. You fight in a 4 or a 6 rounder against somebody who is a bit of a sure thing. That's just how we've watched enough boxing, guys. You know how this sport goes.
Yeah, look,
it's a big step up, this one though.
Yeah, he's going to be moving through the division. I think probably on sort of a Joe Joyce-esque pace, not looking to hang around too much, but going through the domestic scene appropriately, still getting those titles and stuff. Obviously, we saw Galal jump straight up to international, but Fraser's going to be looking at...
It's different at heavyweight.
Yeah, you got to be careful there.
Yeah.
It's just a different setup. Down at the lighter weights, it's a completely different sport, isn't it?
It is,
it's mad. So, another step up, Adam Azim. Shane McGuigan said he wants him to be a world champion by 22. He's 19 now, so they're giving him 3 years, and they think he's just going to blast through everyone.
I think that makes sense because he'll be active.
Yeah.
And remember, he'll just improve as age. At 19 and 22, it's only 3 years, but as a person, even just as a physical being, you develop so much in those 3 years. I actually agree with that. I think 3 years, if he said he wants to move quick, then 3 years...
3 years is fine.
3 years isn't even fast.
Yeah.
In terms of moving quick. When you look at people moving quick, you think of Mayweather, who did it in 1 year. Mayweather was world champion in 1 year.
Yeah.
3 years is fast, especially for current day. But it's also...
It's realistic.
It's realistic.
It's realistic,
mature.
I think,
I
is the
can
main
see
thing.
that, a world champion in 3 years.
Yeah. I think with him, he's already got that one-punch knockout power. But as you said, as you develop over the next 3 years, you're going to add on that man strength. You're going to really start getting some power behind you.
I'm trying to think, who's had a prime? Who's had a 21-year-old prime? Really? There will be some people that say Mike Tyson, but I don't think that would have been
maybe
his prime.
Tyson. It's not. It's a weird one. He was in prison when it was arguably his prime.
His actual physical prime. Yeah.
You have to take the older or younger version. Obviously, you're taking the younger version.
Who blasted through... who blasted through a division.
Yeah.
But I think on your way up, blasting through a division, as long as you take a good route, you can blast through a division.
Yeah. Well, he was the youngest heavyweight champ, wasn't he? I don't know if
was
that's
it
been
18
beaten.
or something like that? It was something crazy. It's bonkers. But what I was trying to say is, apart from that anomaly, you're gonna have everybody probably at their prime, somewhere between 25 and 35, depending on weight divisions and all of that. He'll be a world champion before he even hits his prime, most probably.
Yeah.
So that's the scary part.
Yeah, he's one of them people that have just been boxing all their life. Him and his brother Hassan is also on the card. They're two kids that have been boxing their whole life, and they're just made for boxing. Adam is a 10-time national amateur champion. Hassan is like a 4-time national champion. He was meant to go to the Youth Olympics and dreaded C word, blocked all that, and he's one of these people that just give him a couple of years. And in his last performance, he obviously got the knockout. But him and Hassan, it's hard at times when you're at the start of your career, because you get fighters that just come in just to shell up, and they don't really give you much.
They don't give you much.
It's when the fighters that fancy themselves against those two boys, they're going to leave themselves open. Like Adam's an actual counterpuncher.
Yeah. And he wants to counter punch off the front foot.
Yeah.
That's the most horrible type of style to fight against, because they're walking you down, and you have a decision to make, because they're walking into your space. You either have to punch, but if you punch, you're probably getting countered.
Yeah.
Or you don't punch, and you're getting punched. Like, it's just a nightmare.
It's just a nasty mental game to be going in with, innit?
And do you know why I say that as well? Because next we're going to come to Joe Pigford, who I think I called him the British
Golovkin or something, yeah.
But Golovkin had that style. Walk you down, counter punch you on the front foot. There is no escape from someone like that, because they're too sharp. They want you to punch. but they don't even care if you don't punch. They'll just punch holes in you.
Yeah.
Pickford, good to see him back.
Yeah.
A knockout specialist.
16 knockouts from 17 fights, I believe it is. So, you don't get that sort of record without having some serious
power,
punching capabilities.
And his last opponent was actually game.
Yeah.
But he broke his heart. Proper broke his heart.
Pickford's just one of those guys that will take a punch to throw a punch. And it has 17 knockouts from 18 wins.
When was the last time we saw Pickford? Was it in Wembley?
It was our debut show. So he's actually
Wembley,
not been out for a little while. October 2nd. Been a long time coming for him. But he'll be making another step up. He's looking to push on now. But yeah, just a massive puncher.
Yeah.
I mean, across the board, in terms of the male roster, there's some really, really exciting fighters there. But then when you look at the women that we've got on the card, Caroline Dubois, she's back out.
Yeah.
Obviously an exceptional talent, one of the best.
Just
one of the
so
best
fluid.
up-and-coming boxers, full stop, coming through the ranks. But yeah, she's looking to get out. What did she say in that interview that we did with her, like 5 or 6 times this year? So she's looking to be active. She's straight back out off the back of Cardiff.
Yeah.
And then the other girl is Shannon Ryan.
Yeah.
She's making her pro debut, signed to 258.
Sick. She's good as well.
Yeah, she's meant to be really good. So yeah, across the board, there's a very strong card there. There's a lot of exciting young fighters that are, I think the main thing that's part of our strategy with Sky and at Boxer is taking through the next generation. And a lot of these guys, although they're not the biggest names right now, they've all got like serious potential. Like Ben's been credit to him, been very selective and been picking people the right way. But everyone we've got is
everyone's good.
Yeah.
The problem is with a card like this, finding the correct opponents to make live fights. Yeah. So the fight we've lost was a live 50-50. Yeah. The majority of the card are you would expect to win, but there will be a couple 50-50s in there.
Oh yeah. And
same way that like how we thought on the Khan Brook undercard that there were some 50-50s there that turned out to be not 50-50s.
Well, Tassa Jonas, Chris Namajunas, that was meant to be a challenge for
Jermaine
Jonas.
Brown against Schofield. Yeah. That was supposed to be 50-50, but they both took it to their opponents and just kind of like made it, just had dominant performances, man.
Yeah, well, look, Adam Azim is going to be stepping up, so he's going to be in a tougher contest, but, I would imagine him to be blasting through until he gets to, like, fringe world level.
I would say European. Until people start fighting him back.
Yeah. But then that, as we said before, with his counter-punching style, does that just get easier? He could just blast through everything.
There's a lot of fighters like that where they'll perform better the better you put someone in front of them, Look at Jack Catterall.
Yeah.
Like that. Literally,
prime example.
Sometimes somebody coming to beat you plays into your hands even more because now there's gaps for shots.
Yeah. Look, Fraser's going to be taking a step up. Chris Kongo, he'll want a decent fight. He's not going to be looking to waste time. He's coming off a loss, so
and he has to. He's been out for a while, and he's been around for a while. He has now to put out a statement in terms of his performance. He needs to put on a good performance to remind people that he's back and he's not done. Because you know how quickly people are to write you off in boxing. People will think, oh, your last fight was a loss, and then you've had X amount of time out of the ring. They will write you off. So you have to be able to prove those doubters wrong.
Yeah, I think the biggest 50-50 is going to be whoever Dan Aziz ends up fighting. I don't know who's mandatory for the British title.
It doesn't matter because anyone who's coming to fight for the British title will be ready and they'll treat that like it's a world title fight because it's such a prestigious belt, more so than maybe even some of the worlds, because there is only one British title. World titles, you can go different routes to it. You got you got the 4 main ones, then you got the IBO. You can be a world champion, kind of. You can maneuver your way. British titles, there is only one.
Yeah, there's proper like bragging rights, that isn't it? But just thinking through that light heavyweight division, Dan Aziz obviously the champion. Shakan Peters, who won our tournament, is one of the old title holders. Maybe he goes for it again. Craig Richard beat him. You've got Anthony Yard is kind of world level now, but Lyndon Arthur, like. That division is ridiculous.
And then you still got Buatsi. Yeah. Remember, Buatsi hasn't picked up any of these titles yet. Yeah. Buatsi's had a lot of fights, and everyone knows a ridiculous talent, but he's not picked up titles. Did he?
I think Buatsi went past British.
Yeah, he skipped it.
He went to like international.
Yeah, and then I think he might have even gone European.
Right.
But as in he skipped it out.
But a lot of these fighters do come back down to pick that up sometime.
Of course, because it's prestigious, and the chances are you're in a good fight when you're fighting somebody for it. Let's have a look.
WBA International.
Yeah.
So
he's kind of gone a different route.
Yeah.
He's gone a different route. But again, these are all fights you want to see. You know, like you want to see. We've seen Lyndon Arthur and Yard twice.
Yeah.
You want to see Buatsi in the mix. You want Dan Aziz in the mix. You want to see Shakan Peters in the mix.
Craig Richards is still knocking about.
And then you've got, you know, the one above them is obviously Bivol, who's fighting Canelo. But look, that light heavyweight division domestically is very good in Britain, and then the jump to world level is actually not a huge jump. Because everyone knocking around at domestic level is already ready for world honours. Yeah.
I've got a question that just come to my head. Pound for pound across the world, who do you think has the best domestic scene? Because to me, I think, but I don't know if it's because we know it the most. But when you're looking, like, also based on the size of the country.
Based on the size of the country.
Definitely us. Definitely us.
There will be...
You've got USA, you've got Mexico. They're probably the other two that really stand out.
Let's have a look at it. Light heavyweights, yeah? If we're looking at light heavyweights worldwide, let's see how many American let's see who's in there. We are dominating now.
Yeah.
You got Callum Smith. Obviously Russia will be knocking around.
Yeah. Russia have
but it's a mix. But across in that top 10, I'm gonna put Yard in that top 10.
Yeah, Buatsi's there.
You got Yard, Buatsi, Callum Smith.
I mean, it's only BoxRec, so it's a little bit ropey.
But Craig Richards is there as well.
Yeah.
As in, when you're looking at the French, you've got Sullivan Barrera. Marcus Brown is actually good.
Could Dan Aziz be knocking around there? Is that too early to say? I kind of would put him up there.
It's tough because the way that BoxRec's doing, you've got to win a certain amount of points by beating a certain amount of opponents.
Yeah, on that point system, it's a bit...
But put it this way, there's 1.5... Let's call it two. There's 2 Americans in there.
Yeah.
And there's 3 English in there.
I think we might have the best domestic boxing scene maybe in the world, and it might be biased because we don't know it.
Light heavy is not even our story in this. Cruisers, that's a done deal. Like, that is us. Heavyweights
is us. Dillian, Tyson Fury, and AJ. Yes,
then you got Joe Joyce.
Yeah. Daniel Dubois knocking around there.
As in we're owning that.
Yeah. Middle, super middle. We had Callum Smith until his latest move.
Yeah.
Billy Joe Saunders. That's 2 right there. Mexico, yes, they've got Canelo.
Yes, they'll have a few.
They don't have anyone else.
And to be fair, 160, 168 might be America.
Yeah, 160. Yeah. Hang on, let's get.
Because you got.
Do you know a better way to do this?
You got the Charlo brothers.
BoxRec is so. What's the main sites that you use? I always use a site called Box.live. I use Box.live, and they have like the official ranking, so it's just a little bit more legit. This is what I should have brought up first time. But super middleweight, Canelo, Benavidez, Plant, Anthony Durrell. But in terms of the ring, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 in there. Zach Parker, Lerone Richards, John Ryder, and Billy Joe Saunders. So again, we're right up there. Middle, Charlo.
Lerone Richards, he's a proper talent, man.
But we've got 2 in there, like
across
the board. I think we might have the best boxing in the world.
We are overachieving.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In the amateur systems, Olympics, WSB, all of it. We are actually on smoke.
It's a crazy time for us to be in boxing if you're a British fan, and you know, obviously we're more than fans. We work in it, but it's crazy the level of talent that we actually produce from such a small country.
And you actually have to give a lot of credit to the likes of Amir Khan.
Yeah.
Because without them, remember, they went to the Olympics like one up in a boxing team pretty much. And because of it, more investment came in. And now look at the teams we're sending. And because of it, people are seeing it as, it's almost our second sport in the UK.
I would, probably.
It probably is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a huge sport. So, look, we are blessed to be British and be involved in British boxing.
Yeah.
Because, at the moment, we know it goes in phases.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's our time, and we've got a lot of the purse strings. We've got a lot of the world champions and all the power cards. So yeah, I like it.
That was only one card. We've now got Newcastle as well. Newcastle, we'll run over it. We've got less fights confirmed for that. That's obviously the week. Two weeks after.
Did we talk about this last week as well? Right.
I think we did. I don't think there's been any new additions.
Savannah Marshall, obviously, she's back.
Yeah.
Femke Hermans, which is a decent fight.
It's a good 50-50 fight. Femke Hermans is experienced at world level. She's fought a lot of tough opponents.
It's our jobs to say 50-50 fight. I don't think that's 50-50.
You don't?
I am not betting against Savannah Marshall.
Oh, yeah. Okay, no, yeah, fine. If we're going like that, then no.
It's not 50-50. It's not 50-50. But on paper, it just might be because both unbeaten.
It's a tough fight.
It's a tough fight.
We don't have to say 50-50 all the time. But it's a tough fight. Yeah. But, yeah, Savannah... On paper, Femke Hermans has the better record. Better experience, at least. But Savannah, yeah, I'm back.
Femke's unbeaten, right?
Nah, she's lost she's either lost 3 or 5 fights.
Oh shit!
So she's got the names. What are we looking at? How do I spell it? Femke. 12-3.
Oh, I read it the other way around.
12-3. So
I'm an idiot. Do you know what I read that as?
Read the draws.
I know. I read the 3 as knockouts. In my head, I was just like, she can't really punch because she's got 12 wins, 3 knockouts. It will be competitive whilst it lasts, but I expect Savannah. Look, she's got big knockout power. Yeah, like power that is scary.
We say it time and time again. She's just like an anomaly in the women's
boxing. Yeah. She's punching too hard. She's punching hard. 9 out of 11 stoppages.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not coming to mess around. So, but yeah, as we keep saying, Roy's undisputed. Just she's got to do it in style, which I think she will.
Yeah. Then you got Florian Marku, Chris Jenkins. Big fight.
Yeah.
It's a good fight.
Yeah, that is a good fight.
And it's a risky one for Florian.
It's a risky one. Hopefully a title hasn't been confirmed yet, but I think they're looking for some sort of international honours.
Yeah.
That's going to be an interesting one because it's kind of a step up for Florian. Obviously, Jenkins has just beaten a former world title holder in Julius Ndongo. Did it in style as well. Yeah. Chris looked very, very good in that fight.
He looked sharp. I expect that to be like a bit of a boxing fight.
Yeah, especially now he's at Steel City as well. Yes. Florian.
I expect that to go 12 rounds.
Yeah, so do I.
To be quite we want to find the beautiful shots kind of fight.
We know Florian likes to showboat. We know he likes to switch stances, slip and move. I've
seen him train a lot as a southpaw recently, a lot.
Well, it's because of his hands, isn't it? He had injured the left hand for ages.
And he went southpaw. Yeah. And then he's injured the other. Yeah, he's good though. Imagine, being able to do that. Yeah. It's a proper Sheffield thing as well, to be fair.
Yeah, it is.
Aaron Chalmers, who we spoke to last week, obviously on the card.
Yeah.
I expect that to be exciting.
Yeah.
I have no idea who the opponent is. He probably doesn't either.
No. Let's see what happens with him.
April Hunter returns to Newcastle.
She's back out on the road to redemption. Yeah.
And that was a bit of a shock defeat. But
it was one that shouldn't have happened as such. Yeah.
But she'll be back and she'll be trying to, do we know who the opponent is?
No.
We've got to try. I don't know. We've got to get that rematch.
I think that's what she wants, I don't think that's happening next, but I do agree.
I think we've got to get that rematch because that was a good fight.
It was.
Really good fight.
Yeah, opponent TBA. So...
Yeah, if we could get her back out against Kirsty Bavington, I think that's actually a good fight. Yeah. Really good fight.
Yeah, there's a bit of a grudge match there now, so there's a bit of a storyline we can spin. So, yeah, that is that card. And then, obviously, 2 Boxer Series shows. Coventry for the lightweights, April 16th, and then the cruiserweights. Cruiserweight big tournaments are always fun. It's just like...
Yeah. I personally think the Boxer Series, it doesn't matter what the weight is. Because it is 3 rounds and up to 4... Do we have quarterfinals this time?
Yeah. Yeah, so quarterfinals, semis and finals. So 3 fights in one night, 3 threes.
It just makes...
You got to pace yourself, though. I think the heavier up you go, the harder it is to to deal with that adrenaline dump, to deal with the cardio, you know, naturally they're all just bigger guys.
It's just the styles are just incredible. You just end up having to go to the well time and time again, even though all night, all week you've told yourself, I'm going to try and set a slowish tempo, and you just can't. You just can't. You can't afford to. You have to go hell for leather every round.
Obviously Michaela Wild won our cruiserweight tournament back in like 2017.
Do you know why that's interesting? Because he hasn't exactly got the highest tempo.
No.
But he's obviously just got such power and good timing that he managed to just control the rings. And to be fair, cruiserweights don't set ferocious paces really anyway.
No. I think, look, a lot of it as well is down to the luck in terms of the draw and who you fight. And, you know, when you get into the semi-finals, it depends how the other person's fight went. And if you've got a first round knockout versus someone that's done a 3-round war, they're going to be knackered for the next fight. So a bit of luck comes your way, but you sort of need that with a one-night tournament. You've still got to have the skill, because ultimately you've got to beat the person that's beat the person. You know, you will, obviously the pecking order sorts itself out, but a little bit of luck mixed with keeping your cool, pacing yourself the right way. It's going to make for an interesting night. So tickets are on sale for all of those events. So head over to boxer.com for them. A couple of big fights, big shows, big opportunities for everyone on those cards, really.
100%. Let's go to in the news.
It was International Women's Month.
Is it a whole month?
It's a whole month. But then Tuesday, the 8th of March, is International Women's Day.
Okay.
So by the time this goes out, that would have happened. But International Women's Month. We've obviously got a couple of girls that are really making waves through the sport. We crowned our first. We brought a world champion on in Savannah Marshall. We crowned our own in Tasha Jonas. We turned a couple Team GB fighters pro. Caroline Dubois, Ebony Jones, Georgia O'Connor. I don't know if she was on the Team GB circuit, but she was rated very highly as an amateur. We took them pro, and then April Hunter we took on board.
And now, and now look at the women's stable's almost as deep as the men's stable. It's crazy.
Pound for pound, stylistically, technically, it's a very, very strong female stable. You look at the likes of Frank Warren and Queensbury that haven't got any women on the roster.
Not got one.
As far as I'm aware, they've not got one. You look at Top Rank, they've got Michaela Meyer.
They've got a couple.
They've got like a few. Matchroom have got a very good stable, but person for person, we've only got 6 or 7 fighters there, but they're all like. They've all got so much potential there. Savannah will be undisputed champion, I believe, as we've said. Tasha Jonas, depending on what she does, whether she sticks at 154.
I think now, having seen the opportunities,
especially with Hannah Rankin being ringside a couple of nights,
she has to fight Hannah Rankin now.
She's probably going to stick around, become unified world champion. Whether she change weights and becomes a multi-weight world champion, we'll have to wait and see. Someone that will do that is Caroline Dubois, no doubt. I think with her, it's just a stepping stone, really. Each fight is just building towards world honours. When you're an Olympian,
she's one of those fighters.
Got that credibility there, isn't it?
Definitely one of those fighters that will get better the better their opponents get.
Yes,
100%. 100%.
But look, her and Ebony Jones, for the age that they are, and the lack of pro game experience they have. They look good. Good. Ebony obviously took a draw, but that was against the number 27th ranked fighter in the world in a second fight. That's a big step up.
The only issue with Ebony is that I'm guessing she will always give away quite a lot of height. So when you get opponents that fight tall and really know how to tough it out, that will be the issue that she has to learn and overcome as time goes on. I'm sure she will. I personally think she was good for the win. The other day, but that's how boxing works sometimes. Some people get gift decisions, some people don't. You get the luck of don't get a rub of the green.
I think if she can learn to sit in the pocket, stay heavy on that front foot, stay tight to opponent, box on the inside,
rather than having to go out and come and set
she boxes with that peekaboo style, that bob and weave, but she'll take big steps out and try and move into range again. I think she's got to learn to just almost take a Jack Catchwell approach.
But it's good though, because I like when she steps out, sometimes she invites people onto a big right hand. So look,
she doesn't have the most power though. I've seen her clock people a couple of times, and
you think they're gonna go, and
they're still there. So I think she's got to up the volume, up the tempo. So I
don't know if she can up the tempo. That tempo is high. I was getting tired.
Maybe not up the tempo, but just up. I don't know. I think she maybe, as we said, just sit in the pocket a little bit more, learn to plant her feet, because when she is bouncing out of range and stuff, and then she goes to throw a punch, she might not have set her feet properly.
Yeah. I proper like her though, man. Exciting fighter, proper exciting fighter.
Yeah. There's across the women's game, it's interesting. We've got elite world champions at the end of their career, not at the end of their career by any means, but at the top of their career, I should say. And then we've got these young debutants that are coming through that have got so much potential behind them.
That's how it should be, though.
100%.
It's how it should be, because eventually the baton needs to get passed over, and you got to keep this conveyor belt rolling. You know, you need constant talent coming through. And look,
the women's game is still very, very young. Like the Olympics, the first women's entry, 2012. Yeah. 2012, it's one of the oldest sports. So you know, there was I've got an article here. Just had some facts about women's boxing, but the first time it was ever sanctioned was 1904, and that was purely as exhibition between two girls that had to like fight just for their opportunity. There's always been sort of a discrimination against the women's game.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, I can't remember which fight it was. It might have been Katie Taylor versus Parsoon, maybe was a kid.
That was recent.
Yeah,
that was the AJ Ruiz card. The first one.
Yes, the first one was that. Yeah, I was there. I was live. Yes, yeah. And I remember watching it live, and that was when I thought, what a fight.
Yeah.
And that was the first fight that I remember thinking, wow, that was probably fight of the night. Even though we had the upset, it was such a good fight. And then the rematch was such a war again. And sometimes it only takes one fight to get invested in something. And women's boxing is the same sport as men's boxing, but for some reason there is, you know, hesitance to accept it. But now that is all getting caved away, you know. Like it's like I'm as excited for women's fights as I am for men's. Competitive fights are competitive fights.
Well, like when you look at the UFC, their female divisions are just as competitive and just as highly rated on a pound for pound level as they are with the men's game, because it's been allowed to flourish. It's had money pumped into it. It's had the exposure. So look, when you look at the women's game, it's still so early doors. There's still such early doors, rather. So I think give it, you know,
even a couple more years.
Years, but in a couple decades, it's going to be like, it's going to be insane. The first female professional fight was 1996 on pay-per-view of a Mike Tyson card. Right. So you look at 1996 to only now, there's not long at all. It's only, 28 years? Less than 30 years. And then, you know, we look at some of the... We talk about the boxing champions of back in the day, and, you know, like, the game is just it's completely different.
But it's good. It's progression. It's progression. Now all we need to do is fix the scoring.
I know.
That's it.
Jesus, I know. I know there's not really been much that's happened with the whole Jack Catchall.
I don't expect much to happen, if I'm totally honest. But what I do expect at some point, and it might not be in the immediate aftermath of bad decisions, but I expect over time for there to be a better way of scoring. Now, the reason I say that is this week I watched Lukaku get flagged offside for something by VAR. Sadio Mane got flagged offside for I'm talking, it was the exact same thing and was onside. Now, that would have been bad enough before VAR.
Yeah.
Even with VAR, you make mistakes, but I'm saying there's less of them.
Yeah.
I didn't like VAR when it first came in. I'm not sure if I still like it, but in a sport like boxing, where winning and losing does completely change your life, I think we need a more sophisticated way of scoring. I
think there has to be a universal blanket approach on what is deemed as a point and what is deemed as not a point, really, when it comes down to it, in terms of when you're looking at a fight. It can't be based on perception of either if you're being the judge, like if you prefer an aggressive fighter or a technical fighter or someone that's dictating the pace, or someone, you know, that's deemed having someone walk onto them and, you know, target areas, output.
Even stuff like referees and points being taken off. So, for example, there will be a referee who will give you 2 warnings, and then on the third one, you're out. But there's other ones who will give 6 warnings, and then on that one, you're out. And they won't criticize that one or penalize that one. There are so many things that will affect the scoring. Referees, you can't do so much about because it's perception. But even in football, for example, and football is one of the latest sports to have caught up with the likes of cricket, rugby, and loads of other sports that have decided to use technology in the way that they score. Football's like behind the rest of them, and it's beginning to improve the way it's. But
there's still errors though.
There's still errors. I'm not sure if you can ever get errors out of the game of any sport. I'm not sure if you can get errors out, even in tennis and stuff like that. I'm not. There will always be something, but to be so many and to the biggest ones, that's where the issue is. So, for example, we need to be able to. Him, and him will score the fight differently, and no one even knows why. We don't know. They don't know. No one seems to know. So I do think that we've had a great 26 years, and I'm sure fights are scored far better now than they were 26 years ago. But in the next 26 years, I expect improvements to the scoring, because I think we've now got primed athletes. I don't think the human body can go much further than it is in any sport. Like, honestly, we've done everything now. Nutrition. Like, there's so much science going into camps and all of that, that now the only thing that's needed to be, brought up to speed with the rest of it is the way things are scored. There shouldn't be hometown decisions. No. I personally don't think.
No.
That I don't think you should have to rip the belt from anyone. I just think that you're already at a disadvantage if you're fighting someone in their back garden. And I'm not even referring to Glasgow. I'm referring to just fights in general. Over the years, we've seen this in Germany, were the worst for it for a long time. Vegas... there were certain people, if you fought in Vegas, just forget about it. The UK is slowly getting a reputation for being, bad for an away fighter. It's not good for the sport, because it makes people fall out of love with it. And you love UFC. I don't love UFC, but I don't want something like this. Make me. I don't want something like that happening. What's going on with my wording? I can't get this word. I don't want something to drive me away from boxing and drive me towards UFC, because I feel like actually I understand the way that the scoring is done better over there. I just want fair fights. That's it. I think that's the one thing that boxing in some ways over the years has been criticized for, is the lack of, we hear the term 10 times a year robbery. Once we can wean that out of the sport, who knows what it can get to, like in terms of just what heights it can actually reach.
Look, when you've got a sport that is watched by so many people, you're talking, Eubank versus Liam Williams did over 1 million views. That's just people watching on the night live. You got the replays, you got this, people that catch up, people that just watch. As big as the sport is, a lot of people won't sit and watch a 12-round fight, and they won't dedicate a Saturday night to it. I personally, any fight night, I'm watching that fight night. Even if I'm out, I'll get it on my phone, or I'll find a way to get it. A lot of people won't do that. So when you add those eyes as well, but then when it comes down to point scoring and people don't even know why someone won, or when you're trying to get your mates and stuff that aren't into the sport watching a fight night with you, and they come away like, why did that guy win and not him? And it just immediately taints the sport a little bit. I'm not
worried about it so much when it's a close fight. I'm not worried about that, because some people see different things. There are actually loads of rounds that are decided by one punch, or 2 punches, or 10 seconds of pressure at the end of the round after nothing's happened. I have no problem with that, because stuff like that is relatively subjective. But when you get situations where the vast majority, the casuals, the people that have never watched a fight before, the people that are professionals, the people that are qualified, all saying the same thing, that's when I think we have an issue. So, look, I like a certain degree of human error in everything, but I don't think I like, what would the word be? I don't think I like incompetence. That's the difference. Errors.
That's what it comes down to, incompetence, isn't it?
I don't like incompetence, and that's all it is. I think that once, look, in life in general, you scream loud enough, it usually happens. Whether it's a riot or a flipping what's less than a riot, but it's like still nice. What do they call
it?
Protests. Yeah. If you get enough people protesting about something for a long amount of time, you usually get what you want.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting people to call out bad decisions. I think it's good. I think it's healthy to call out bad decisions and ask people to explain themselves.
Yeah. Look, this is the only way it's going to grow if we are questioning things, if every time it's just you get on with that. Maybe that's been a problem in the past. It has. Decisions have gone down, and it's been allowed to sort of blow over.
Like, I remember watching Fury go to Germany and beat Vladimir, and I remember thinking before even the bells rung, the first bells rung, I remember thinking Fury needs a knockout because he'll never get a decision in Germany.
That's one of the biggest.
That shouldn't cross my mind.
No.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't cross my mind. I shouldn't ever think that way. I should think that if he wins it on 2 points, he wins it on 2 points.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be thinking, oh, he needs a knockout. He did win it on points anyway.
Yeah.
But as in, I shouldn't be thinking that just because you're there, you can't win unless you win in a certain fashion. It's like going to Stamford Bridge and having to beat Chelsea 6-0 to get 3 points.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
Sorry, I went off topic.
I mean, that was meant to be about International Women's Month. And somehow brought it back to this. But yeah, no, look, I agree with everything you're saying. Hopefully there's no robberies in the women's sport as well.
Yes.
That would just really sort of slow down.
I don't mind close fights. So, for example, I thought Natasha Jonas won at least one of her previous world title bids.
Yeah.
But she didn't. And I can't complain.
Yeah.
Because they were close fights. I have no issue when a fight is back and forth. And I know what I'm watching. Like, I know what I'm watching. But when I feel like I've seen incompetence, that's when I have an issue. And that's when most people have an issue.
Obviously, we touched on... Is there anything else you want to touch on with the Women's Day, Women's Month?
No, just that I appreciate all women boxers.
Shout out the women.
And women in general.
Yeah.
What a great gender.
Oh,
they're better than us.
Yeah,
I'll be real. Like, they are. Like, they're just,
Yeah. But yeah, look, the women's game is actually going to start flying. I think, as I said, with the UFC, it's like when it does get the exposure and the accolades and the respect there, like some of the women in the UFC, I keep banging on about it, but it's just the best example of a women's sport that is pretty much just as competitive as the men's.
Yeah.
Like stylistically, technically, all this, like they're some of the best strikers in the world.
Yeah.
That's now carrying over to the boxing. So yeah, it's going to be
the next generation is going to be even better, and it's going to get better and better. They've got so much growth.
We're in the best generation of women's boxing ever,
and we'll have a couple of.
But it's just going to keep getting better and better.
Has there been a? There's never been a women's pay-per-view, has there? Headline.
No.
So we'll probably get 2 of those this year.
Yeah.
It goes to show, man. Like it's here now. It's here, and it will only get better and bigger and stronger.
Yeah. People like Tasha Jonas, Savannah Marshall, Clarissa Shields. You know, they're poster girls for the sport and 100%. for that next generation. 100%. Like you see when Caroline Dubois was around Clarissa at the Cardiff Fight Week. Yeah. She's like in awe of her. She's starstruck. Like the women before never really had other women to really look up to.
Yeah.
Had like Layla Ali. And there's going to be other names up again.
Yeah, Nicola Adams, who was a big part of it as well.
100%. So you've had a few, but you've never really had, like, you can ask a guy or whoever, what's your favourite male boxer? I'll give you this guy, that guy. You might have one, but then you've got so many below it that, you know, are ruling and around there. But for women, they've never really had that sort of, those poster girls of the sport to look up to. But now, every generation is just going to be getting more and more so. Yeah, speaking of rankings and favourite fighters and stuff, the ESPN dropped their new updated pound for pound list. Josh Taylor was.
Whose is it? Who? Is this ESPN's or is this Andre Ward's?
Nah, good question. Maybe should have fact checked that. ESPN have posted it, so I guess it's.
Well, let's have a look at it.
I guess it's a universal.
Which way are we going? 10-1 or 1-10?
Go. What do you want to do?
Let's go 10-1.
Okay.
You've got Gervonta Davis at number 10.
Yeah. I think we should probably make our own after this.
Yeah.
So we'll rate theirs and then we'll sort of try and come to one. But yeah, go on.
Josh Taylor at number 9.
Yeah.
Estrada at number 8. Who probably might not have even been in mine, you know.
Nah.
Vasily Lomachenko at number 7. Errol Spence Jr. at number 6. Tyson Fury at number 5. Usyk at number 4. Inoue at number 3, Crawford at number 2, Alvarez at number 1.
So I think Josh Taylor, I don't completely 100% agree with that list.
Did he go lower after last weekend?
Yeah.
Where was he before then? Do we know?
I can try and find it, but I think he was around 5. I think he was like, he was in and around there.
Canelo pound for pound.
Canelo for me is a gazillion trillion % number 1. Like,
yeah, well, you're gonna say that,
but like, I do think he's pound for pound number 1. I hear people sticking Crawford at number 1, and I just I rate Crawford, but for me, it's Canelo.
Do you know what? I rate them both. I rate everyone on that list very high.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at things based on recent achievements. Now, I will begrudgingly put Canelo Alvarez at number 1 because of what he's done in the last couple of years and at kind of going up and down the skates at the weights at will. I'll give him number 1. My next one could be Fury.
Really? I would put Usyk above Fury pound for pound.
Would you?
Yeah.
All right, let's look at his last 3 opponents. Now, AJ, obviously, you're going to get that's the biggest accolade you can get.
Yeah.
But before that, it was Chisora, and it was was it Washington?
Washington, yeah.
So, and then obviously he cleaned up the thing.
Yeah.
But I'm talking pound for pound stuff. He's on my list.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure if he could be number 2 or 3 for me.
Are you when you say pound for pound? Yeah. How do you envisage that? Do you see like if that person was put at each weight, is he coming above everyone else, or like how do you? I'm
looking at it as this is every fighter in every weight.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at their achievements in comparison with each other.
Right. If you Usyk, then for me that's even more leverage because it's undisputed at cruiserweight and now unified at heavyweight.
All right. This is why I would say Terence Crawford did it at 135, 140, and he's now doing it at 147. He's up there for me. So there's no doubt that he is in the top 3 for me.
Yeah.
Alvarez, obviously, he's done every weight division.
Yeah.
So he probably sticks at number 1 for me. Lomachenko is probably higher on my list than what he is on theirs. He's at number 7. He's only been beaten once, and that was a close fight.
Yeah.
He's still live. He should never even be up at 135 anyway. So I probably have him even higher. A new way I would drop down.
All right. Do you take their technical ability into it as well?
I take it into it, but I expect...
Or are you more accolade-based?
I'll be honest, yeah. In just a normal... I'm going accolades here. This is pound for pound. They're all going to have ridiculous abilities, and I'm leaving favourites out of it. So the styles I like, all of that, I'm not involving in this. I'm going based off recent fights, recent achievements, and going up and down.
This just highlights how subjective boxing is across the whole sport, because for me, a massive part is their technical ability and how they would fare up in a fight against other people at weights.
You're putting them as if they was all the same weight and fighting each other.
Kind of. No. Because that would be a very different list.
It would be a very.
But I just take their technical ability with their accolades. I look at.
So Canelo is number 1 then.
Yeah.
Terence Crawford.
I see Usyk as more of a technical boxer for his weight. Do you think Crawford? That's why I put Lomachenko so high as well.
You've got one undisputed cruiserweight champion.
Yeah.
Who's going up, and he's become WBC champion at heavyweight, and he's beaten like a feared man in his own backyard. Huge achievements.
Yeah.
Then you've got Terence Crawford, who has dominated at 135.
Yeah.
Ricky Burns at 135 or 140? I can't remember which one it was. But anyway, he went and did 140.
Yeah.
Was he undisputed there? And then he left the belts. I'm sure he was undisputed at 140. He's gone up to 147. People always said he was too small. Gone up to 147. Bossed it up there. I have Terence Crawford at number 2. So I don't even know why I was saying it.
You'd have Crawford number 2.
I'd have Crawford number 2. So far, I agree with ESPN on 1 and 2. I'm sure he did. Look, what's that? BA, BC, IBF, BO. Yeah, it was.
That was at 140, yeah.
Yeah, and he's world champion. So he's world champion at 135. He's beaten big names. Victor Postol was a big one. Beaten everyone at 140. He's gone up to 147. He battered Jeff Horn.
Yeah.
Beat Amir Khan. Beat Kell Brook. He's got to be number 2.
I
can't put Usyk there because I'm looking at who they beat to get there.
Fine. I will. Let's try come to one together. So fine.
I'll go Crawford 2. Crawford at number 2. Can I see that list again?
Right.
Now, number 3, you're going to obviously argue for Alexander Usyk. Let me have a quick look. Because I was thinking about putting Fury there. But if we're looking at Fury, achievements-wise, it's ridiculous. However, he's fought the same guy 3 times. So it's hard for me to know.
He's got 2, like
super good wins, of course. And he's unbeaten. However, there is Errol Spence Jr.
But this is where stylistically it comes into play. I look at the way that Fury moves on a pound for pound level at his weight, and his style, his unorthodox nature.
I've got to take weights out of it because this is pound for pound.
Okay.
So as in, like, I can consider your competition in your weight division.
Okay.
But I have to also consider accolades.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury is on this list undoubtedly.
For me,
but when I look at, so for example, even given the dodgy decision that Josh Taylor may have been given the other day, I might have him as higher than Tyson Fury. If I was just in a 2-horse race, if it was a 2-horse race, pound for pound, I'm looking at competition, the people that fought, and what they've actually achieved. I've got to go Josh Taylor.
Yeah.
Taking a dodgy decision out of it.
Agreed.
So, for example, I know I will pick Josh Taylor before I pick Tyson Fury.
Okay, so you're going Canelo Crawford. You putting Taylor 3?
I'm not sure.
Nah,
but I'm just saying he's above. I'm saying he's above.
I would put...
All right, I know you want Usyk. Let's go Usyk. He's undisputed at 1. Heavyweight is the hardest division to grow in because there's no weight limit.
I would have put Lomachenko maybe above him, but then it's the same way I now have to... You have to put... Well, Josh won, so you can't really say that, but for argument's sake, Jack pretty much did beat Josh.
Yes.
Yeah, like he did.
All right, let's go Usyk. Usyk's unbeaten.
Yeah.
Crawford's unbeaten.
Inoue blasts through everyone that he fights. He has to be right up there. But then it's not as competitive as a division. It's like super bantamweight. It's just not the same.
But he did
like he blasts
so because
through
of that,
everyone.
Because of that, and it's not his fault, obviously, that he is that he's in a division that isn't the most competitive. But I have to hold you accountable for it.
22-0. 19 knockouts, ranked number 1 in the world at bantamweight.
But he's not. All right, do you know what? I'm putting number 3. Oh, number 3 is Usyk.
Yeah.
Number 4, I'm putting
Tyson Fury.
Nah.
Go on.
Josh Taylor. I'm taking out the OVO Hydro. I'm taking that out, and as accomplishments. Now, 3 of my top 4 either are now or have been undisputed.
Yeah.
Or unified at the very least. Now
they've all been undisputed.
Yeah. All of them have been undisputed. Yeah.
Okay, fine. With that I can reason with that. That's fine. That makes sense.
Now we're into the tough part where it has to be either Lomachenko or Inoue. Really.
So now you're taking Tyson Fury out of the equation as well?
No, I'm just saying Tyson Fury has to be in the mix, but Inoue...
I'm putting Lomachenko above him.
He's been undisputed.
Yeah, okay. I would go Loma.
Yeah, Loma, and then I'd go Tyson Fury.
And then you'd go...
And it's a tough list.
But he's been undisputed as well, so you can't forget.
No, he hasn't.
Yeah, when he beat Klitschko.
Was that all of them? No, I think that was 3 of them. Was it undisputed?
Nah, I'm sure. Did Vladimir not just have all the belts?
I thought at the time, wasn't Vitali still active then? I thought Vitali had
maybe
1.
Actually. Oh, maybe.
I think Vitali had 1 and Vladimir had 3. Let's go and have a look at this.
Vladimir. WBA or WBA Super. So we need to check Vitali. But
okay.
IBF, WBO.
It's as close to
IBO.
Yeah. It's as close to undisputed as you can be. It probably is undisputed. And if you ask Tyson Fury, it'll be undisputed.
Vitali at 2015. Nah. What? Oh right, he retired way before that.
Okay, cool. So
okay, so it must have been.
Cool. He was undisputed. So let's go.
So Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Then Inoue. Yeah.
Yeah. Then Errol Spence.
Errol Spence can potentially jump up further if and how he beats Ugas, and then what happens after the Ugas fight.
The thing is, this just it moves up and down depending on who fights who when.
Yeah.
Gervonta Davis.
For me,
lucky to be in the list if you ask me. I rate him.
For me, but
he hasn't fought anyone.
See, this is for me where stylistically it comes into play because someone like him is just like
he's a nightmare for everyone.
Such a beast.
He's a nightmare.
He's just ridiculous.
But the thing is, you can't do these lists based on people that haven't fought each other.
Yeah.
And based on potential. We know stylistically he's a nightmare for everyone at 135, 140, all of it. And he probably beats loads of them. However, until he does, he can't be above 9th place. He can't.
Who else do you put in there? What do you think of Beterbiev being there?
I don't love it, but he's very scary. So
it's a hard.
I would still possibly put Triple G in there.
Triple G is a shout, to be fair. Let's see what else we've got in and around this list on BoxRec. Bradis at number 6. I'm sorry, mate, but no way.
Nah, impossible.
Wilder. See, this is where BoxRec becomes a bit ropey because it's based on points, isn't it? So it's like you don't really get a true reflection.
Yeah.
Oscar Valdez. No.
Valdez is a mini shout, but no, I would go Triple G, and they've got Triple G nowhere near it, probably because
inactivity and just not.
But so if the only thing I would swap is Gervonta Davis. I would keep him in there.
And then take out Beterbiev.
I'd take out Beterbiev.
At number 10, or would you swap Gervonta and Triple G? I'd maybe put Triple G above.
I'd put Triple G above Gervonta. Yeah.
But then again, Gervonta's a 3-weight world champion.
Yeah, but Triple G was he undisputed as well?
Nah, I don't think he ever got. Nah, he wasn't undisputed.
He definitely unified. He was scary.
Yeah. What was the most he had? I think 2 or 3 belts. Yeah.
All right. IBO, WBA, WBC. So yeah, we had 3 of them. WBC, WBA,
IBO, WBA, WBC.
But look, in this fight here, he had the WBA, he had the WBC,
and then the IBO.
IBO. Oh, IBO.
IBO is not even really recognised though, is it? Like,
no, not really.
Not.
Did he have? When did he have the? He didn't have the IBF though. Maybe he got the IBF after at some point.
He's got it now. Who did he? Oh, when he beat Derevyanchenko, and then defended.
That could have gone the other way as well. Yeah. Look, bottom line, they're all top quality fighters. But yeah, I'd have Triple G in there. So that would be our list.
So just to recap, Canelo Alvarez at number 1.
Yeah.
We're definitely happy with that. Crawford at number 2. Yep. Usyk number 3. Yeah. Josh Taylor 4. Yeah. Lomachenko 5. Yeah. Tyson Fury 6. Yeah. Inoue 7. Errol Spence 8. Triple G 9. And Gervonta Davis 10.
I like that.
It's a good list.
I think that's better than ESPN's.
Yeah. Estrada can't really be in there.
He can't. But he can. There's an argument for everyone, unfortunately.
Yeah, there is for sure, and yeah, there's more people in and around that. In theory, you could look to swap out Gervonta for the likes of Lopez for beating Lomachenko, Devin Haney, like that lightweight division. Any of them you could sort of have a slash against everyone and just sort of include them all there. Yeah, it's an interesting one, but yeah, okay, that is our pound for pound list. Let us know yours. Stick it in the comments. A few other little bits in the news just to discuss. Tyson Fury obviously didn't show up to the Fury White press conference.
No, Tyson Fury didn't.
Sorry.
Yeah, Dillian White
didn't show up. But look, with no pay-per-view percentage for Dillian, yeah?
Is there none?
No, so he doesn't get a cut of the pay-per-view sales.
So he's doing this too.
So is he right to be doing that?
He's not. Look, he can do what he wants.
If you were him, if you were his advisor, would you do that? I'm telling him, leverage yourself. Get the most exposure as you can. Fury
he's got the exposure.
Nah.
This is like telling an artist do you want to do wireless main stage for free? It would be good exposure for you.
No, because he's getting paid. It's like, do you want to...
I get it, but he's getting paid a flat fee to fight, to turn to the fight.
Yeah.
Now, he's probably going to be moving quite sexy and be like, unless you're putting me on private jets here, there, and whatever
Which
it is.
The demand, yeah.
Was that what the demand was? Unless you're doing that, I'm not coming because it doesn't make a difference. I don't have to build the fight.
Yeah.
It's not my job to build the fight. So I understand why he should be there, but I understand why he's not there because he feels hard done by, and he feels like I'm not doing any favors for anyone and building anything for anyone if it doesn't benefit me.
Yeah. I think this is where egos get in the way, and he feels disrespected with the price in it because the WBC ruling is 30% as a minimum, and they've given him a 20% split. But on the flip side, it's 8.2 million. It's bigger than he ever was. It's a career high payday.
Yeah.
But for me, he should be using that to leverage himself, not only amongst the UK casual fan, where everyone knows Tyson Fury, amongst the US fans as well. Like it's a fight that's got global exposure.
To any neutral, of course, he should be there because he is the other half of this fight, and this fight wouldn't be as big as it is without him. So of course they want him there. But if you're him, putting yourself in his shoes, he feels hard done by that this fight has happened like this.
Yeah.
And he's getting the money that he's getting, and now he's expected to attend a press tour for a fight where he doesn't get any percentage of the pay-per-views. If I feel hard done by with anything, I don't play ball.
Yeah.
That's at home. If my missus annoys me, there is no chance I'm doing the washing up. There's no chance. Like, I'm not putting no kids to bed.
Yeah.
I'm doing nothing.
Yeah.
You can't annoy me like that because I'll dig my heels in. And Dillian Whyte is digging his heels in. He's just like, nope, if you want to play hardball with me, I'm playing hardball where I can as well.
Got you.
Simple.
Are you going to go to that fight? You got tickets? I managed to buy tickets.
You bought them?
Yeah, I managed. I was like, look, if I can sort something through Mail, through Top Rank, obviously, like, I'm assuming they will be able to sort us out. But just knowing how tight it was with Khan Brook, like, by the end of it, or unless you're super
that's different. That's 20,000. I know. Wembley's 80,000. You've got a much better chance at
well, it's near 100,000, isn't it? They're doing. They've got like 98,000.
So you'll have a lot better chance of getting tickets. I will go. I'll tell you my honest thing about watching boxing in stadiums. That unless I've got really good seats, I struggle.
Yeah, I do hear that.
That's my thing. I don't want to sit in the gods.
To
watch a fight. Obviously, there'll be screens and stuff like that. And the atmosphere will be ridiculous, and you go there, it'll be a massive event. But I've been spoiled.
I was going to say that.
I've been spoiled. Ringside or very close to ringside or in a box.
Yeah. I bought them.
Unfortunately, is what I'm used to.
I was like, oh, I can't miss it. Just in case, I've got these to fall back on. I'm going to push.
You must have good internet.
Mate, no. So what it was the first day, it was like 150,000 people in the queue for like 20,000 tickets. But then they released coach tickets. Have you ever done a coach ticket? Right. So I found out after buying them, you only get your ticket when you get on the coach. It's like when they say a coach ticket, it means like on like a tour. But coach, So we've got to go on that. Like, luckily I bought in zone 1, but which is like they class it like Hertfordshire. But it was like zone 2 is like Manchester away and blah blah. Zone 3.
Sick.
It's weird, like I don't know why they do it like that. But luckily I bought zone 1 like just anyway. Otherwise I'd had to get a fucking train up to like Manchester
and get a coach back.
Yeah.
That's quality though. It makes for it's gonna be a big fight, man.
I'll be there for the atmosphere.
I'm gonna pretend that I might not be there. I did the same with AJ Usyk. I was like, I don't want to go because I don't fancy watching boxing in stadiums. But then out of nowhere at 5 p.m. ringside's appear.
Yeah. You've got to go to fights like that.
You have to.
Like, they're legacy fights for the sport, and especially for the heavyweight division as well. Like, it's just the most iconic division that we've got.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got the tickets, but if we can get free ones, Mel, whoever, someone Top Rank.
Yeah, so I'm sure
we'll get something, but as I said, I got it just to fall back on. That's it really. That's it. That's the main stuff I've got. Unless there's anything you really want to add.
No, I saw one thing there. It's just that AJ is announced that
sticking with AJ actually. Yeah,
he's being trained by Angel Fernandez. Yeah. If you're in boxing and you know anything, then this won't come as a shock. He's been training with him for a while, and he I'm sure he took him on after the Ruiz fight.
Mm-hmm.
The first Ruiz fight. He started working with him.
Yeah, that's obviously Riakporhe and Fraser Clark camp as well. So AJ might be
sparring.
Yeah. In it, that is a ridiculous trio.
Sparring. Yeah.
Only other thing, shout out Rugendal. Lost 80% of his eyesight in a kitchen accident.
Hopefully, I mean, the doctors say he should get his full eyesight back.
Yeah.
What I will say about Rugendal is he might not even need all his eyesight to win fights. Yeah. He is so cerebral and just like, I feel like he's
pure reflex
anyway. He's not even looking. Yeah. It's weird. But hopefully he makes a full recovery. Cooking is dangerous, man. Yeah. Like pressure cookers.
Be safe out there. Be safe.
That's it. Listen.
Final word. Be safe.
That's it. This podcast was brought to you by Boxing Boys NFT. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the stuff that you know you should be doing, and stay locked in because we're going to be dropping exclusive news on this podcast every week. Mouthpiece, the home of unfiltered boxing. This episode is